Hello, everybody. Hello, Christine.
Hello, Anne-Chloé.
This is a sixth episode of Deep Chit-Chatting between me, my name is Anne-Chloé, and Christine Dürschner. And today I'm coming with this question about what is the root of this conversation about creating extraordinary relationship? And why do people care? Because what I've noticed in my life when I walk around and go shopping and walk the street, most people do not know and in a way do not care about creating a relationship that is different from what they've seen in their environment. And somehow some people do care. Some people do find this podcast or other spaces to have this meta conversation about how can I relate? And I have this question of what is this internal shift? Why do some people care?
So what I realize when people, like especially women, are coming in my praxis, they're coming because they feel pain. So this is what I realize when they are coming. They are mainly between 20 and 30 or even older, but like this is the average, and they saw the same movie in front of them again and again. It's like what that means is they had relationships which failed, and they attracted men again and again, the same type of men, and they realized like something is not working, and they came to that point that they want to check, okay, why it is not working, why is it actually not functioning. And the main women, they are coming and think they need to fix themselves so that they can get a partner. So mainly women are coming when they are actually on the ground, when they hit bottom, and then they're coming and like with the pain, and step by step I can like introduce them in a new way, and to show them that something else is possible, and then they are starting their way. But it's not like, oh, I want to have an extraordinary relationship, because they have no idea that this exists. It's like they are starting at the same point what you just described, that they had these raw models from their parents which were just ordinary, and but some longing inside of them, because out of the pain, that they think like, okay, is it really just pain? is this life? Not really. So what is it, and why do I feel just jealousy? Why do I always fight with the partner? Why can I not communicate? What do I say, and why do I say these things, and why do I get internally crazy? Why do I shoot myself? Why do I blame myself all day long? Like these questions are popping up again and again, and then they are starting, like from that point, they are shifting slowly into something what we call extraordinary.
So you said something, and maybe that's been also your own experience,
Yes.
but you said that women come and they think they have to fix themselves, and it sounded like that's actually not what's happening. And so can you say more about that? Like what actually happens when women or and maybe men also find reality or find this pain in reality about the way I've been relating has not been working.
Yeah. So they are coming from that point. They need to fix themselves. And what is actually necessary, I think it's not like really big, because for them, this is really happening. They are truly believe in this. Whoa, when I fix myself, something will change. So they need a lot of kind of metrics, what we call it. It's like to have distinctions that this is just a construct. This is a concept of a false construct of themselves, that they would be wrong. They are not. they are just traumatized, as we all are. They have their inner wounds, and they have their patterns and their belief systems and their box, what they created. And one pattern is, I'm not good enough, or I'm not okay, and this then leads to this, yeah, so when I'm not okay, I can do something, so I'm becoming okay. And this is then this pattern of, I need to fix myself. Especially it has also something to do with this codependent and narcissistic pattern, and a lot of women approaching me with a more codependent approach, like this. They are reaching out, they are the driver, and they get no commitment from the partner, and the partner is more like, okay, but you are the problem, and they think they are the problem, and the partner would be more, like we would call this more gremlin owned. Like the gremlin would be more in the forefront and would be very proud of themselves that they handle everything and they are in control, but actually they are not. And these women are so confused because they have mainly attracting really powerful gremlin partners, which make them believe that they are really wrong. Yeah, but this is the root cause is that they truly believe they are wrong, and then they are attracting them. So then I start to give them the distinction that it's about healing their inner wounds, to liberate themselves, to really become a choice, that they have a choice at the end of the day, because at the moment they, like, from that starting point, they don't have a choice. It's like something in them is choosing, kind of their emotional charge is choosing the partner. It's their box choosing the partner's box, and it's not their being choosing really the being with whom they want to be together. Mm-hmm. And I think this is like the extraordinary is the being wants to be in the field of extraordinary, but the being was never nourished, and they have actually no idea. It's like they're coming like really toddlers so often in my praxis and say, can you help me? Like, I don't know. It's like there's one part, actually they think they need to fix themselves, and then the healing part starts, which is totally okay. And the second phase is this, and it's just parallel, it's not after the other, is that they need to learn how to communicate, how to be with another being. It's like, because this construct is, or this this perspective was never embedded in them. They have no idea that this is actually, they are talking mainly to the box of the other person. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I have sort of two direction in two questions. I'll ask the first one first, and if we have time, go into the other direction. And it's most women, and I would say almost all women, we were born in a patriarchy, and our mothers were patriarchal in a way that the patriarchy is not owned by men, is that the women play the game of the patriarchy, and that's been one of our role model, is the woman is a slave and an object to be owned by the men, and so it makes complete sense to have this really inner structure that's founded on, I'm not good enough, I'm not okay, and I have to make myself okay for the men. I have to make myself okay for the men, and it's, so there's a personal healing there in terms of our own, as you say, building the matrix, healing the wounds, the trauma of our childhood or other times, and at the same time, there's also this whole construct that is mostly out there, this of the patriarchy of men owning women. This is what's in movies, this is what's in songs, this is what's in parents, friends, and it's like, so I have this question about also this collective reclaiming the feminine as a source of constant like force and value and power as part of this process of this shift from the ordinary to the extraordinary.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and what comes along with this question is like the resource of anger. Like literally every woman coming into my praxis, they disown, denied, suppressed their anger. It's like it's not existent. Maybe like for survival strategies, but not in a conscious way that they really can get their authority back. It's like this, it's basic training. It's basic training of a human being, and especially women, like they are starting with the anger training, and that's it's super empowering, but at the same time it's like, wow, it's like how much resources we were not using. Like we could be really on another plane already on this planet when we would have had our anger back. So yes, this is the first step to build up this muscle. And I don't know where you want to address now, like this question.
Well, can you say more about this anger? What's the shift that you've seen in women who can reclaim their anger and this inner resource, this power? Like,
yeah,
why is it the first step really that's so important?
Like what they do is like before they do it, they do the healing and all this work for someone, for the family, for the friend, for the partner mainly, and as soon as they like re-own their anger in a conscious way, they shift and they become their own authority. So the point of origin is changing into themselves. It's like they are centered. They are centered. It's so simple actually, but it's so difficult. And they have a choice. They can choose what they want to do. It's not that they have just the choice what is already given from the partner, from the outside, and then they want to match just this choice. It's kind of they can choose whatever, not just what is on the menu. And I think this is the major shift, that they release their power of creation. They own that they can create for themselves, and it's so powerful. And it's always like, my gosh, when they are shining after these processes, and they own it. It's like, and then they start doing their projects. It's like, whoa, they skyrocket. Before they were just kind of there. A lot of women are thriving already on a business level. They are thriving, and during the process they're discovering that they're actually thriving because they want to please daddy. It's not that they actually wanted this, or that and as soon as they are reclaiming that they actually really want this business or whatever they are creating, they are even more thriving. They are like skyrocketing. And it's so amazing. There is so much power in this when they're reclaiming their anger and their own authority. It's like, whoa, then you have this goddesses, creation, power forces of nature. It's like, yes. Hallelujah.
Yeah, I mean, and so this is kind of leads into my second question, that you started bringing up this seed of like feeding ourselves for ourselves, like feeding what I would call our 5 bodies, or our bodies, or different facets of ourselves, or dimension of ourselves, for ourselves, because as a woman I want to be fed, and I'm not expecting. And I think in the game of the patriarchy is then the master, as the slave, the master has to feed me, the food has to come from somewhere else. And so what, like, how does this process start? Like, how do I feed myself as a woman for myself, so I'm fed and nourished and happy, and I can be, like you say, this radiant goddess in the world?
Mm. So what I figured out, there are two streams, right? Like our relationship to mom, which was influencing us, and the dad. And what we were just talking about was more the influence of the relationship to dad. What I, at the same time, I'm emphasizing, I'm encouraging women to do is nourish their energetic and emotional body with holdings with women. And what I found out, and I got this picture like many years ago, it was because I had that too. It's like I was like, why can I not attract a man, or why I'm starving? Even I'm in contact with a man, it feels like that the energy which I receive is just flowing through me. And I was like, what is this? Why it's not kind of landing, and why can I not contain this? It's like, what is it? And then a picture came, and I don't know the English word. It's like this thing, this cooking equipment where you put the noodles in. How do you call this?
Yeah,
colander. No.
Yeah,
it's a colander. Yeah. And this thing, like when we have our womb, and it's this ball, and what I see is like when we are babies, this ball, this is filled with the energy of our mom. And what is happening when we don't get the touch, and we don't get the heart, like the heart beating, and we feel and get nourished by the being of our mother, this ball is not full, but it looks more like a colander. Right? And then we grow up, and then we are trying to fill the holes with the energy of the man. And then it's just floating through, and it's floating through, and it's never enough. It's this feeling of like, fuck, why it's never enough? It's like, and I had this experience by myself, and I hear so many women saying, okay, yes, this is how it feels. And so, and as soon as I started to do holdings, and I picked women who were kind of on an energetic and emotional level, representing kind of a mothering energy, and I did holdings with them, these gaps were filling up. And what is then happening is that the energy of the man can really flow into this ball, and we can contain this masculine energy in us. And that's such a different game. And for sure, this is not going to be like tomorrow when you start the journey. So it takes a while, some years, to feed all these different layers. What we were just like picking some of them out. It's like, but I think this was really one of the main things, is to shift these both streams, like addressing the relationship with dad, but also with mom, and then we are able to be with women completely differently, and then we can nurture this sisterhood. We don't need to fight against each other anymore. We don't need to be jealous about the other's partner, or fighting for the other's partner and attention. It's like it shifts so in another space. And for sure, it's also a practice space to be with women and to share what is really going on. I remember me sitting many years ago in a women's circle, and I was like with 12 women, already living with them long together. And then I was like, I don't trust you at all. It's like every woman I have stories that why I'm not trusting you. And this was a turning point. I crashed completely. I bursted out in tears. But that was the turning point. I strap myself naked in front of them. It's like, this is who I am, this is where I am, this is my X on the map. And then I could start my journey. I could start in my journey to find ways to relate and find ways to trust them, and like find my own trust in myself, in what is femininity, right? It's like, I had no idea. I had just a construct of, yeah, I want to be more feminine. What? I was so masculine inside of me. I had just a female body, but not even, pretending to be kind of, my body pretended to be a woman somehow, but it was not. And it was like, okay, what is the energy? How can I embody that? And it's also a journey to create sisterhood around yourself. And
I just want to take a breath, because in a way it feels like in the past 20 minutes we've covered a lot of territory, and this is a lot, and I think each of those territories can be even dived into at the next level deeper, and the next level deeper, and just having a space for letting it land somewhere in our receiving space.
Yeah.
Any last word for this space, Christine?
Yeah, it's just like, I feel very alive, like very alive talking, because it's not just talking about these territories, what you just said. It's more, it's also a part of, it's my life. It's like I'm passing on the experienced based knowledge, what I gained on my way. And that's why it makes it so alive, and it's so good to share.
Yeah, thank you very much for once again sort of stripping yourself naked with us. And
my pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you very much for everybody who's listening, and we will see you, talk to you, be with you in a couple of weeks for the next deep chit-chatting. And it's possible that we have a surprise for the next one.
Yes. Thank you, Anne-Chloé, for holding the space and navigate me into these territories.